So yes, I'm Ibby. I'm a artist set designer, um, based like working mainly in fashion. But yeah, I'm gonna get into it. So, wow, that was really loud. My work, I think the way I describe it is like I love to play with like color, shapes, and like you said, it's a dance between color and shapes and movements. So. And I'm also really lucky to have many inspiring people around that I collaborate with that give me like that push me through like the thinking process and the creative element, and also giving me the platform to be able to like speak my language, which is like something that yeah, we don't get to do all the time. So yeah, we've worked with like many different publications, and the Days family is a big supporter in what we do. So they give us a lot of like work, and we get to really dream in those kind of spaces. But yeah, I think like when I started, my work was very much based in this idea of kind of like merging color, bringing that into fashion, because I think I'm a big fan of color, and I love how you can kind of like put them together, and with the model and the fashion in front of it, it could be quite exciting. So so yeah, like that's the basic version of my work. There's a couple of projects that I wanted to kind of like highlight in this talk. And the first one was like Tenzin. Tenzin is this kid in Nepal. He's 6 years old. One of the guys, Imru, the fashion editor at Days, um, he messaged me. He was like, "Look, there's this kid in Nepal. I watched him on Apple TV. Like he sent me like the video, and this kid was like 5 years old at the time. He was like, "Oh, he's a photographer. Look at the way he like shoots. We should go." I was like, "Cool, let's go." Um, and like all of a sudden, we're like, "Okay, cool, it's actually happening." And I was like, "Fuck, this is actually happening." And I was speaking to my agent, and he was like, "Yeah, okay, cool, this is happening." And we flew all the way to Nepal. I think I was like, I spent like one day there. I could only do one day. So we flew all the way there, met this kid. He's amazing, like the most inspiring kid I've ever met. But however, when we got there, because it was kind of like, it was me, Imru, there was like, and Imru's assistant, like we had like the local producer, but nothing else, nothing else. Like normally shoots have like so many elements to it. And when we got out of the airport, we were like, fuck. We just realized what we just did, because this could get fucked at any point. But anyways, we went there, we met the kid. He was really sweet, really like amazing. However, at one point he was just there like, "Yeah, I don't want to take pictures." I remember turning to Imru and just being there like, "Okay, here we go." But then all of a sudden he was like, "Yeah, I'm into it." And we met him, and this like, we took him around, and he like, he was so great. He got like, we got in, and Imru opened like the suitcase, and all the kids just came running. They basically just started wearing the stuff, and Tenzin was just there like, you stand there, let me take a picture. And then he's like, and I was like, we were just there like, me and Imru were like, "Yeah, sick." And then he was like, "Oh," I was like, "Oh, can you draw a mustache on one of the kids?" And we were just there like, "Yeah, okay, let's go." And then it was so crazy. There was just so much energy there, and he, as a 6-year-old kid, he was so inspiring, and his photography is just like a different viewpoint, for us. And one thing that our work is so much about is about this play, this element of finding your inner child. I think we, as artists, we train so much to kind of like have this perfection, and everything has to be a certain way, and we kind of like lose this element of like being a child again. And I think what was amazing about this kid was he was able to show us that, and then bring us into that world, and really like, we were so excited by the end of it. But yeah, like the images, and when we came back, we showed it to the Days family, and they gave him the cover of Days, and we were just there like, yes, come on, Tenzin. But it was really, really, really exciting. I mean, like that kid right over there, man, he just like took that thing, put it on, and he was just like running around like this. And then there's like, I mean, I'm not sure whether you guys have seen the video, but it was like the most amazing chaos I've ever seen. But it was really fun, actually. Another project I wanted to talk about was we shot this like British Vogue cover with all of the black girls. And for us, like sometimes when you see the final, like this is the final kind of like cover, but this is actually how it started. Yeah, so it's, you know, I remember getting a message from Raphael. He just sent me like this message. That circling that's me. Be like, are you talking about this? And then he was like, no. It's like, look at the whole image. I was like, oh, okay, cool. But I kind of like, after, I was like, oh, cool colors. I was like, the fuck are you talking about, man? Sending me this shit. Like, but after a bit, I was like, okay, cool. He was like, okay, let's create this. And I was like, great, let's go. So we ended up kind of like coming up with this idea, and we wanted to kind of like simplify, because, I mean, as you can see before, my work is so much based on color, and it's really like loud and bold and so much. And so we wanted to kind of simplify it and kind of think about what was the most important thing for us in this kind of story. And we wanted to kind of like get the girls to speak their language and just have some stuff in there that was kind of like just as an accent to kind of bring that out. And, you know, we ended up kind of like having, with Raphael's eye and, you know, Edward's like styling, it was really, really beautiful. And we kind of like ended up with this. And this project to me was like quite amazing, because it created so much shit, man. Fucking hell, like this world is crazy. It's like, you know, anyways, I'm not gonna get into the politics of it all, but it's like, it's quite interesting to see the feedback, how, you know, this kind of story stirred up a lot of shit. But anyways, yeah, so we wanted to kind of like really play with like simplicity, you know, having something that is like a simple color, and then you have these elements that kind of like heighten the kind of visual elements of it. And this is the saddest point for me actually. We spent so much time looking for this table. Oh my God. I remember Raph was like, I can't remember what reference he showed me. I remember he showed me this reference, like with a table that's like the end of there and all the way here, and there's just 2 chairs. He was like, can I have this? I was like, no, like there's no table that's made like that. He was like, oh, can we get a table that's big? Like beautiful. And I was like, yeah, okay. We spent so much time looking, and we found this table, and this table was so nice. Oh my God. It was like the natural kind of like wood, really old. And the chair also, he was like, I want it all blue. I was like, great. And this is us painting the fucking things. Yeah. So, like, you know, it was like, oh, I want a long bench. And we couldn't find a long bench in time, because these things happen so quickly. We don't like, you know, and that's the thing about fashion, is that you never have enough time. There's not enough time. And we had little time to kind of like put this all together. So we managed to find like this old church bench, and like found the chairs from somewhere else, the table from somewhere else. And yeah, we kind of like brought it all together. And then yeah, like put this together, and yeah, we're really, really, really like excited about this project, and it came out like really, really well. You know, more than I could kind of like imagine it coming for like a simple idea. And I think one thing that was quite interesting about this project for us was how you can kind of come from this more kind of like background to kind of like being considered in terms of the choices that you make for, like, you know, as an artist, as a set designer, it's like one of those things that you can put everything in a set, but if it doesn't tell the story, then there's no point of having it there. So yeah, it was like really nice to kind of like remove all of this element and kind of have a simple story and a simple narrative there. And it's something that I'm doing a lot with my work now, and a lot of stuff that we're working with is just to play with how these element of color meet now and then meets this 3D kind of like, you know, playful, considered elements, you know, within the set. So yeah, like this kind of like this shoot taught me a lot about, you don't need to have all of these colors if you don't want to, but you can if you want to. But it just depends on the shoot. So yeah, like now we're working a lot with like the simplicity elements and the people we collaborate with, and yeah, just trying to tell like different kind of stories really. But yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this now, but yeah, I think, yeah, thank you so much for listening to me. I really appreciate it. Thank you.